Welcome to the NNBN podcast, talking with businesses, charities and organisations across Northamptonshire.
Sponsored by Poppy Design Studio. Find us at poppydesignstudio.com.
Today I'm joined by Chris Smith, who's the development manager at the Royal Derngate in Northampton, one of the most iconic buildings in the town centre. Great to have you with me, Chris. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Simon. It's a pleasure to be invited.
Yeah, great to have you. And I'm sure there's quite a bit we're going to catch up on and talk through what we're talking through today. So before we do, though, do you want to give us a bit of a background behind your role at the Royal Derngate?
Absolutely. So I joined the theatre back in November 2022, as development manager, as you say. And I suppose one of the biggest roles that I have is to sort of manage the relationships we have with our business members, and in a broader sense, our memberships as a whole. So we have a lot of sort of donors that provide regular support, and that kind of also transcends down to lots of our other members that kind of called stage and screen members and things like that. So yeah, that's a really exciting part of my job because it keeps it quite fresh and it keeps it quite exciting. And I get to be involved with lots of different new opportunities, such as what we're going to talk about, which I'm sure in a moment. But at the same time, it really does keep me on my toes. And it's a great organisation to be part of. There's never a dull moment.
I can imagine. It's theatre, isn't it? There's always music and colourful and loads of stuff going on, isn't there? So
yeah, well, they certainly do say, variety is the spice of life, and that couldn't be truer of my job.
Yeah, well, listen, it's just brilliant to see the venue back open after COVID and obviously the recent challenges that the venue had last year. But let's kick off with sort of the business club, because we've joined the business club and we're delighted to be members of the business club with everybody else.
As I want to have you.
Yeah. Do you want to talk through sort of what the business club's all about and how it can benefit people that want to work closer with the theatre?
Absolutely. So it's really twofold, I suppose. First and foremost, we really view our members as the kind of people who really are invested in the arts, obviously in Northampton, but also in a sort of broader sense, and kind of recognise the importance of how that really impacts the work that goes on in the community and the sort of direct work that we have that influences that. We also are looking in that sense to kind of pull that generational aspect through in terms of building our new audiences, and that's a really important aspect of what our business club members help us to do, primarily through their membership fee, but of course also through their time and their networking opportunities that you get to come along. So obviously, being part of the business club affords your business the opportunity to have that little bit of extra exposure inside our building, and inside in our programs and in our brochures that get distributed. Firstly, in a quarterly basis for the brochures, and pretty much most of our shows for the programs. In addition to that, we kind of view ourselves as the premier arts venue in Northampton. So we do think that we do offer something slightly different to potentially some other institutions in the town. We do know that Northampton is quite a sport-oriented town, as fantastic as it is, and we have some really good relationships with those institutions. But in terms of kind of giving your clients that extra opportunity or hospitality opportunity, let's say, to kind of come and experience not only our own productions but the presented work that we have as well in the Derngate, it's just a really nice different sort of outlet to kind of reward your staff or get your clients along and enjoy a bit of theatre. Yeah,
brilliant. Well, as I said, we got involved latter part of I think it was November, wasn't it, last year? I can't remember.
It was, yes.
It's gone quick, hasn't it? But it is brilliant. I mean, obviously we came along to the pantomime with Snow White, and brilliant fun. Just what we needed just to go into the Christmas period as well, and great to mingle with people on the day and enjoy the performance as well. But you mentioned about some of the benefits that you can actually get as a member. We've got our plaque in the in the entrance hall, haven't we? But
Yes.
what were the other benefits that people can sort of receive as being a part of the business club package?
So I mentioned there our produce work, which is what's called our Made in Northampton work. So that's anything that we either co-produce or produce ourselves, and that kind of filters down to the sets that we produce, our workshop and costumes that all get made in-house. And when we have a press evening for those shows, we always invite our members, and there's generally an opportunity to kind of mix and mingle with those pre-show as well, which is always quite a nice sort of informal way of kind of meeting each other and just kind of meeting on a common ground with a sort of a vested interest in the same thing. I mentioned there about sort of hospitality for your clients or your employees, and we offer 12 tickets across the year for those businesses who are part of the club to any of our on-sale shows, which is always fantastic. And it's really well, it's fantastic that they just use it against any shows across the year. So that could be from anything from comedy to musicals to dance to orchestral seasons to anything we can think of that we can have. We accommodate it in our theatre because we do have the ability to be quite flexible in the sense that we can provide things that not a lot of other theatres may be able to do that in that sense. So that's always really nice to be able to offer that opportunity out there. And you just mentioned the pantomime there as well, actually. And these are sort of things that we can offer our businesses outside of the normal business membership benefits. They kind of exist in addition to. And actually, we're coming out of one of the best Christmases we've had for a long, long time as well with Snow White. And the same hopefully will be said for Cinderella, which of course we'll be inviting our business club members to that coming the end of this year.
When's that? Is that December again, is it?
That's in December. I don't have the date for you yet, but it's generally the first week in December.
Cinderella this year. Looking forward to that. And that'll be the only time I'll ever get to the ball, I think. And it's when it's on the stage in front of me. But looking forward to finding out more about that as we go forward. And of course, if people do want to inquire about the business club, they need to come to you to talk to you about getting involved.
Yeah, they could just get in touch with the theatre in the normal way, and any sort of queries like that will come through my way. I think it's probably the easiest way to do that. I'm always contactable. Anybody's got contacts with yourself, Simon. There's always ways to kind of engage you that way as well. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, as I said, it's great to see the theatre back open, and this week you've got the auction going on this week, which I really want to talk about because I need to know more about this. And it kicked off a couple of days ago. But do you want to give us an outline of what the auction is all about?
Absolutely. So a bit of context into it first of all. So as many of your listeners may be aware, September 2023 was bit of a turn for us in the calendar, let's say. As they discovered some RAC, or your reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete is a term I'm coming well familiar with, in our fire spaces, which initially made us have to close for a period of 6 weeks. And because of these closures, we obviously had to reprogram a lot of our events, one of which was also an event which would have incorporated a silent auction. Now, obviously, that wasn't able to go ahead. So in the new year, we've kind of reviewed and kind of restructured our 40th year as it was into a 40th season. So that kind of takes us from April 2023 to the present day so far. And one of the ways we're going to try and kick this off is through an online auction, as you've said, which has been put together by our fantastic partners, Auction Marketer. So basically, the outline of the 40th anniversary or Derngate 40 campaign is to help provide support for our access provision and to really rejuvenate our seats as well in our Derngate Theatre or auditorium, as I really should say to be exact. The one thing I will kind of add into that is that I'm sure that a lot of people kind of think sometimes, hang on a minute, you're a big institution in Northampton, your ticket prices do vary sometimes from quite, let's say sometimes £60 or below. Why are you asking for this money to rejuvenate your seats? Well, I think what a lot of folks maybe don't always realise is that we are a charity, not for profit. And a lot of the work that we do, is supported through those charitable donations, which is what this is for. We don't always see an awful lot of our ticket revenue, depending on how our promoters would like to, let's say, go about the deal. But secondary spend and any sort of charitable donations is really where that support comes in handy in the biggest sense of the word. So this is kind of what that's going to go towards. Our target for the 40th was to raise 100k, and we're on our way to that. That's £100,000. However, we are really keen to kind of stress that through this auction, it's a opportunity for a much broader audience to get involved. In the knowledge that every penny that you give to the auction, 100% of that 100% goes towards our charitable status and towards the Don't Get a 40 campaign. And within that, we've got lots of exciting prizes, which I'm sure you're probably just about to ask me about.
I am, of course. We want to know what's in there, but I'm guessing you got a whole variety of prizes in there.
You're spot on, Simon. Like I say, I've had a really good response from a lot of the businesses that are already affiliated with the partners. So we've got some really lovely hospitality tickets from Carlsberg to watch Northampton Saints. We've got a lovely spa opportunity courtesy of Kettering Hotel and their spa there. We've got things from Pampers from Warner's Distillery to fantastic artisan produce from Jay's of Wells Barton. We have signed memorabilia from the sporting institutions in the town. So that's the cricket club, the rugby club, and the Cobblers, of course, as well. We also have some of our own offers within there, such as particular season tickets to our comedy offering, some additional experience for our Made in Northampton productions, very much a VIP wraparound offer for those, which just kind of gives people that opportunity to kind of see behind the curtain, really no pun intended, to understand what really goes into making productions like this. We've got 26 lots in total. Any keen golf enthusiasts that are listening to you through this podcast may want to know they can get themselves on the Ryder Cup course at Celtic Manor if they are that way inclined, of course.
Yeah, I mean, golf, it's not for me, I'll admit. I can't hit the thing, but it's great to hear that there's an opportunity for people to be able to auction towards that. And having known, well, I know of Celtic Manor, and it's a fantastic facilities down there. So, great opportunity to bid for that. You mentioned Jay's of Wells Barton.
Yes.
I love the products down there, and it's great to see that they're supporting you as well. And the Saints and the Cobblers as well, the cricket as well. So that's the sporting element connected into the theatre.
Absolutely, yeah. You're absolutely spot on with that, Simon. I mean, in all honesty, when I was looking at kind of moving this auction out into sort of the online world, as we're saying, it was a really good opportunity to kind of really get those local businesses involved, which is a really key part of my ethos and my role as development manager at the theatre, is to kind of really start off strengthen those ties with those local businesses. Hence why we're obviously in partnerships with yourselves at NNBN now, but also to kind of just give those businesses an extra platform as well to just reach it as broader audience as and hopefully a new audience as well sometimes for them that is as far and as wide as we can reach as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So the auction is online. So if people want to get involved, they need to go to a website, do they?
They do indeed. So the auction can be accessed through our website, first of all. So on our website, we have a What's On section, which you can click on the homepage. And also, if you click on the About Us section, we have a Don't Get a 40 specific page that has the link. But if you want to access the auction directly as well, we have our own bespoke website, which is royalderngate.auction. You just type that into your web browser and that'll take you through into that. You may also see there's some popular items on there as well. But like I say, every pound you donate and every winning bid that comes through is really going to help our charitable cause. And obviously, in advance, we can't thank people enough for the support that they are currently giving and will continue to give.
Yeah, brilliant. And when's the auction closing? Because I think that's a key thing to sort of mention, isn't it?
It is indeed. So it's running for 7 days. So it opened Monday at 5 o'clock, and that'll take you through to 6 p.m. this coming Monday, the 12th of February. So the auction will run until 6 o'clock on that day.
And of course, with Valentine's Day being on the 14th, what a great Valentine's present that you could bid for via the auction. You know, those that have got loved ones, maybe auction. Have a look at the auction. Maybe bid away for those. The golf at Celtic Manor or whatever's going on at the Saints, the box there, and go and enjoy some corporate hospitality. What a great way to get in the good books as well of your loved one this Valentine's Day. What do you think to that, Chris? Good idea.
Well, I don't know what my wife would say about that if I bought her a particular thing, but absolutely. Why not? I mean, we obviously in terms of the timing, we know that Christmas is a busy time. We're obviously looking to kind of separate ourselves away from that a little bit. But even though you may look through the auction and think, oh, do you know what? There's things on there that I really want to bid on. Please do consider, think about where the donation is going. It's really going to help us. There will be items on there that, like I say, will appeal to lots of different people. But like I say, if you want to purchase that Valentine's gift, how about a hamper? How about a hamper and a distillery tour of Warner's?
So when the auction closes, how sort of quick do people find out that they've actually, been the lucky winner?
So as and when the auction closes, we'll be looking to contact folks within between 7 to 10 working days.
But brilliant to hear it's going on, and it is important that people do look to support the theatre with some of the work that you mentioned there, because what people forget about these venues is that they're not always in operation every single day, are they? They're only there for some of the productions and other events you've got going on, but sometimes they're actually sitting empty, aren't they?
Absolutely, and first and foremost, our audiences come first. That's why we exist, to be there to give them that opportunity, and like I say, make this theatre as an accessible one as we possibly can for those who enjoy the magic of theatre, but also for those who sometimes don't get that opportunity to come and access theatre firsthand, and give them the sort of opportunities to experience that and bring that new generation through.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, as I said, we've enjoyed what we've seen so far. And of course, the last couple of years I've been before COVID, and then obviously we had the shutdown period and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's always a great place to go, a great place to sort of wind down and get away from the everyday life, but also take in a storyline of a production. And I suppose productions and what's coming up at the theatre is something I should really ask you while I've got you as well. So what have we got coming up? Have we got anything? What's coming up?
Yeah, well, like I said, I know I've already mentioned pantomime, but kind of coming a little bit further in advance of this year. So towards the sort of summertime last year, we had a new artistic director join with us, Jesse Jones. And you may recall that I've mentioned our Made in Northampton productions already. And actually, this coming April, Jesse is going to be directing a production of Moby Dick on the Royal Stage, which will be his first venture into directing one of the productions in our Royal Theatre, which is really exciting. We're really looking forward to that, because I think sometimes it's just nice for our director to get their stamp on their first production and really kind of start to kind of make that mark in that sense. Throughout the year, we've got obviously various bits of programming. We've got some fantastic shows, musicals coming up, such as Grease, and we've got the West End touring version of Only Fools and Horses coming towards the latter end of the year as well. We're really, we're obviously really grateful, and it's fantastic that we can get these sort of touring productions in. Take, for example, at the beginning of this year, we had 222 Ghost Story, which just came straight from the West End, and that enjoyed a really successful run. So it's an opportunity to kind of see West End shows, but in a regional theatre, but with the same production values, and it's just one of those things that I think makes a little bit more worthwhile. It gets people into Northampton, it gets people spending in the businesses around the theatre, it gets people enjoying the town, seeing what the town is about again. And, that really does, make it feel a really worthwhile cause of why we're here. And, it is very much about the town, about the wider county as well. And, just getting people into that venue and seeing those high quality productions. We have a really great children's offering as well. So in the summer, in the sort of June, July sort of times, we've got Bluey's Big Play. Any parents listening to this will know exactly what I'm on about there. We have Zog and the Flying Doctors coming along as well as a musical based on Madagascar. So there's a great opportunity, not just for the adults and for the grown-ups to get in there, but also for those younger ones to come and experience some of their most loved characters that they see quite regularly, I imagine, on TV.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, while I've been listening to you, I have been multitasking. I have gone onto your website to see what's going on, and you've got quite some good names and big names coming to the theatre as well, haven't you? You've got, I see you've got Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, Jimmy Carr is one actually. He loves coming here. He's doing a double header. I believe it might be the Friday that's just gone actually. But if you're looking on our site, you'll see that he is coming back again with a brand new show. As well, stand up is something that we actually, in my humble opinion, we do have a really good offering of that. We got folks like Chris McCausland and Sarah Milliken and Jimmy Carr, as you just say. Rod Gilbert is another. And actually, just going back to the auction for a moment, that's another thing you can bid on, which is a comedy season pass, which allows you to come and see some of those shows in one of our hospitality boxes. So if stand-up is your thing, we've got something for you.
Yeah, and I've just seen you got Axel Blake as well, who I think was on X Factor, wasn't he? Or not X Factor,
I
Britain's
believe
Got
it was
Talent.
Britain's Got Talent. Yes,
It was Britain's Got Talent, not X Factor. And you got Al Murray as well, who, he's always, if you enjoy something funny, then there's something there with Al in the house as well. So
yeah, like I say,
names.
comedy well catered for Northampton. You know, it's get yourself along to one of these stand-up shows as well. I mean, if you are a sort of person who enjoys not just those guys who obviously are touring on the circuit regularly, but we do have a monthly comedy club as well called Screaming Blue Murder, which kind of introduces you to those comedians who've maybe come out of the Fringe in Edinburgh or things like that. It's always great to kind of go and see that sort of comedy as well, and obviously lend your support to those as well. So, like I say, we've got not only do we have the sort of mainstream comedians that do come to us quite regularly, but we also have that sort of monthly opportunity for those other comedians, really trying to make their way, sort of thing. And they're just as funny. They're fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. I can see you got Anton Dubek as well from Strictly Come Dancing. So,
yes, musical and dance is another great offering. I believe we've also got a joint venture with Giovanni and Anton as well. And so for any dance lovers, Giovanni or if Anton's your man, get along to the evening with Anton Dubek. But I should also actually probably add on to that, Simon, is that towards the latter end of the year, we also are the host venue for Strictly Northampton.
Okay.
So that's also, and that's always a really, really popular event. It's Derngate is always packed to the rafters for that one. So it's Northampton's own Strictly show, and I've known quite a few people take part in the past actually, as it happens. But it's always popular. It's always a great one to go and see and just kind of see what's happening out there in Northampton.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, there's loads on. If you want to see what is going on, do go to the Royal Derngate. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's just give out the website. So it's royalandderngate.co.uk/what's-on, or literally look for what's on the website. It's probably the easiest thing. Have a browse around and see what's going on, because there's some really good stuff on here. I didn't realise the in-depth, what is going on here. You've got some tribute acts as well. There's Ruby Wax. There's there's evening with Harry Redknapp. A bit there for the football fans as well to go and listen to a bit of Harry as well talking. But,
absolutely, folks like Tom Allen. You've got Miriam Margolyes. You sometimes love or hate her. You've got these folks, Giles Brandreth, who's coming on late in the year. I mean, what I should say is as well that a lot of these shows are kind of been rescheduled because a lot of them were due to come in during our closure. So it's been really fantastic that we've been able to kind of get those guys rearranged, and they can still kind of get involved. They can make their touring dates essentially work for us, and they've been able to come back, which is fantastic. So those audiences will still get to see them. Yeah,
fantastic. You got Jules Holland as well. My gosh, I tell you what, what I'm going to be doing all afternoon now. I'm going to be looking at this website, trying to look at what's going on here. You got Jules Holland coming on. You got Jason Donovan as well. Is that right?
Yeah, Jason Donovan. Just going back to the Jules Holland one, so that just went on sale this week. So we always have a sort of priority on sale window for our members, so that extends to our stage and screen members and up. So you kind of get first dibs on the tickets, which is fantastic. I mean, people like Jules Holland did bring in such a great audience, and they're always popular. So, like you say, if you want to get first dibs on the tickets, I would, consider one of our memberships, because you're always going to be able to get in there and have sort of first pick of the shows. I've known folks say to me in the past, as soon as they've had that sort of brochure drop on the doorstep, they're going through it and highlighting and saying, I'm going to reserve that quickly now because I just know how popular it's going to be. So yeah, I mean, one of the one I probably would, I should really make you aware of is that the well-established show that is the Mousetrap, that's been running on the West End for, I believe, 70 years, because we've got that coming very, very soon as well to our own Derngate Theatre Auditorium, which is the 70th anniversary show as well of that. So if anybody's got any sort of big Agatha Christie fans out there, there's another one for you.
Brilliant. Chris, thanks for joining us. There's so much going on, isn't there? I mean, literally go and have a look at the Royal Derngate.co.uk website. Have a browse around. Really do appreciate your time as well. And good luck with the auction.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Simon.